My name is Angela Barnedo, and I am Tina Garcia's oldest daughter. Before the accident, my mom was my hero. My mom was the person that took care of myself, my family, my foster brothers and sisters. She ran a very successful real estate company. We had politicians over to our house. We went to the White House. She was the rock of the family. After the accident, she came to Virginia for a family reunion. Some of the family didn't quite know about the accident, but they knew right away something was wrong with her. Her aunts and uncles, my Uncle Skip and my Aunt Ellen, who were there to help raise her growing up, she didn't even know their names. She couldn't recognize them. Before the accident, my mom was open. We had parties at our house. We had sleepovers. My friends would come over. She was the life of the party. After the accident, she was irritable. She couldn't even be around her grandchild. Noises would distract her. Any kind of advertising would distract her. Any kind of labels. Noise would hurt her head. She just couldn't process stimulus. When I got here to Colorado after her accident, everything had changed. Her speech had changed. She slurred words. She talked with a lisp. I went into her pantry for the first time to cook something for dinner, and you couldn't even tell what was in the pantry. All the labels had been taken off of the cans, so you didn't know if you were getting vegetables, if you were getting pie filling. All the labels on all the household appliances were taken off. Even in the refrigerator, you didn't know, there wasn't a label, so you didn't know if you were drinking water, if it was vinegar, you didn't know what it was. And it was dangerous for cleaning products because she would use bleach and not realize that it was bleach and dangerous because she just thought it was, regular Pine Sol or something like that. She had no concept of any of that in her house. Tequila was the cutest little dog in the world. He was, I'm gonna get emotional. He was half Pekingese and half Chihuahua. And my mom and DJ went out and got him as a baby, and he was just the cutest light of our life. He would come to Virginia and visit with us. He would stay with me. I'd get to babysit him when she would come to Virginia on business trips. He had his own outfits. He had, his own food. He was the coolest dog ever. One day, DJ, my brother, was working with me, and I got an email from my mom. And in that email, she was afraid to tell us, but she had lost him. And she was afraid that we would be mad at her because he was a member of our family and she had lost him. But we could never be mad at her because she didn't do it on purpose. It was her impairment. She just couldn't take care of a dog, and it was just a dog. She's our mom. But that's what I think hurt more, was that she thought we'd be mad at her. And we weren't. We were sad, but we could never be mad at her about a dog. My mom got a service dog, Professor. He was a little 15-pound Coton, and she got him with her as a service dog to help with her injury, to go back to law school. Part of the problem, though, after she got him, after she went through all of the training, was she wasn't remembering to take care of him. She couldn't remember to feed herself, much less feed a dog. She couldn't remember to take him out for walks. She didn't know what to do for a dog. She couldn't take care of it. So she put him on a plane, and he was shipped to Virginia to stay with me. But we were still worried because she couldn't take care of a dog. How could she remember to take care of herself? I would have to call her a couple times a day. Did you eat today? Did you turn off the stove? I would sometimes do a run through. Hey, can you go check and make sure that you turned off the oven? Can you make sure you lock the doors? Because those were the things that the dog was supposed to help her with, but she couldn't take care of the dog, so then she couldn't take care of herself. Before the accident, my mom took care of everything. She took care of us. She took care of my brother. She took care of everything. There wasn't a problem too big or too small that she couldn't solve for us. She helped us out financially. I was growing up as a young couple. With the daughter, she helped us out financially, she helped us out emotionally, she helped us out with babysitting with our child. But after the accident, I became the person that had to handle that. I had to take care of my brother. I had to let him live with me. I had to provide for him. I had to provide for my family, and I had to take care of my mom. In my 20s, you don't expect in your 20s to have to take care of your parent. But I did. I had to remind her to eat. I had to take her to doctor's appointments. I had to tell her what was socially acceptable and not acceptable. That's something usually you do with a child, not with your mother. So all of that responsibility fell from her shoulders to mine after the accident. Growing up, my mom was always a great role model. She told me how to be a strong woman, to take care of my family, to make good business judgments, to always have a will, to have a bank account, to make sure that that you can take care of yourself and your family for your future. My mom had gotten the Berkshire Life Insurance so that she could provide for myself, for my children, and for herself in the future. She ran a very successful real estate company. She worked so hard, and she worked hard so that she could take care of her family. After the accident and their failure to make the payments, she wasn't able. She had started funding my daughter's college fund. When she got disabled, she wasn't able to do that. There's $4,000 in that account. Berkshire was supposed to help her. She worked so hard for that first part of her life to take care of her family, and after the accident wasn't able to provide for her grandchildren, for our college educations, which she had hoped could set aside if she wasn't able to work. Berkshire put my family through so much, as well as my mom. They flew all the way to Virginia to interview my grandmother, ask about my aunt's death, which is something that's very difficult for our family to talk about. They asked about my family's citizenship. They asked me questions about growing up, personal questions that you shouldn't have to talk to about your mother. Emotional, raw questions that they don't have, it's not their business. It's personal stuff about our family. And that was hard. That was hard that my mom was sitting there while we were interviewing and had to listen to us be grilled with some pretty hard questions. What I want Berkshire to do is honor their contract. I want them to give her that sense of self-worth. I want her to feel like she can take care of her family. Because right now she doesn't feel like, she feels like she's a burden on us or on me. And I want her to not feel like that anymore.